It's a stick up. Tumewashika, tumetokea bila kualikwa. Heshimu rika, unajifanya hujatishika. Jaribu kuwika, tutakugeuza malaika. Ni mboka kupiga, toa kila kitu bila kuficha. Weka chini, 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 chini. Na hizo mikono
juu
kila kitu
chini, 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 chini.
Na hizo mikono juu.
Yes. Hey, like you guys mmekuja ku sweep it all.
I have the list video for it.
Welcome to the Top 5 with LaMusicJunkie podcast. That is me, and we are here at Tawala Studios, somewhere in Nairobi, somewhere in Kenya, somewhere in Africa. And I'm here with such a special guest. I have known this guy for a very long time. First of all, I know him as the creative director of TKR. And if you're wondering what TKR is, that is the Kenyan Renaissance. And this is an online art museum that has been documenting the Kenyan Revolution. And they've done this in so many ways. You remember when SoundCloud was a thing? Well, these guys used to do weekly top 5 playlists where we were just discovering like all the underground alternative artists. They've done Mapinduzi jukebox playlists on Spotify, Apple Music. They've done Radio Mapinduzi. It's been a radio show, DJ mixes, interviews with Kenyan artists, and Intersect Art Exhibition. That is an event where just artists come together. So he's done a lot, but he's also a very dope music producer, and now he's also a rapper. I did not see it coming. But his name is Luka.
Yo, niaje.
Niko poa sana.
Thank you for the intro.
Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah, for
man.
sure.
I've been a fan for such a long time. I mean, starting with when you started producing, you've produced for Muddah, for Nashinga.
Yeah.
Anyone else I don't know?
Yeah, those are the ones, this Rasbi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then, but then in, I think it was 2021, you dropped this song, Badilisha Huyo Pedi.
Oh,
you remember that? Badilisha Huyo Pedi kama hafanyi kazi vizuri. Was that your first single?
No. My first single was Rafiki Adui. Badilisha Pedi was more like an experiment. So I think I dropped a bunch of experimental tracks. Before now, I dropped my first single, which was Rafiki Adui. Came with the video and everything. Yeah.
So Badilisha Huyo Pedi was the experiments.
Yeah, it was more like a freestyle. It was more like me kind of finding my footing inside the studio. Or rather in front of the microphone. I was always inside the studio.
True.
But I was mostly just, doing fillers for people. The artists I was producing for. I was just kind of like doing their hooks or doing chants. But then now Badilisha Pedi was one of the ones that I made around the same time as Rafiki Adui. But now it's, it kind of became like a kind of almost a full song. Yeah. And I think that was the first song I actually had you rapping. And I'm so curious, like, what switched for you that, you've always been the producer, now you're like in front of the mic. What was that switch for you? I've always been rapping. I started rapping before any of the other things you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because I was writing Issa's lyrics in class 2, class 3.
Yeah.
I was plucking the lyrics from, the newspapers.
I remember that section. Ilikuwa on Sunday Nation or something.
Bars or something.
I used to cut them out and had them in like a book, so I understand. Watu wa 90s, ni nyinyi tunaongelesha.
So I was always, cutting those out. If it's not there, I write it down myself. So that's something that has always been part of me, but I just I never took it to the next level because production seemed to be opening up faster for me. And it also I think because of a few factors in terms of how I grew up, I wasn't very comfortable like being in front of the microphone and being in the limelight.
Yeah.
So I had this kind of metamorphosis that I had to go through after discovering a few things about myself.
Yeah.
Where now I felt now more comfortable doing a full song by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to go through a process to get that confidence and the skill, but rapping and music has always been in you.
Yeah. I've always been writing raps. I've always been writing songs and melodies, writing music.
Yeah.
So it's just that I was doing it in the background and trying to push my other artists.
Yeah.
But then now it reached a point where I'm like, okay, now is my time.
It's your time. Yeah, and that's why you're here because, I mean, this is the top 5 and we'll be talking about your top, it's actually my top 5 songs from you.
Yeah.
And you dropped an album this year on 1st June.
Yeah.
Sandoko.
Yeah.
Please tell us what Sandoko is about. Because there's this whole description. Okay, let me read it and then you fafanua for us, tafadhali. Sawa?
Sure.
So you say Sanduku is a compilation of songs about boxes because Sanduku is a box. The isms built around us by society and the imaginary limitations we place upon ourselves. Sawa. Fafanua. Chambua. 10 alama kumi.
So it's what I was telling you about, like going through that metamorphosis.
Yeah.
You know, going out of that box that I was kind of built around me in my childhood, and as I was growing up and coming into manhood, so it's more about all the isms, as I mentioned in the description, like it's the ideologies, the philosophies, the concepts and the boxes that we perceive to be around us.
Yeah.
Some are real and some are not real. Some like my song Rafiki Adui. I'm talking about friendship, and that's one of the isms. But there's a way it's not real. There's a way it's all in my head.
Yeah.
It's just like an insecurity. So you might think that it's a song about like betrayal, which it is. But sometimes it's just that you yourself, you're kind of insecure and you perceive someone else's actions as a betrayal.
Wow.
When really like you're the one who's just insecure.
Wow. That is deep.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to Rafiki Adui. But yeah, let's start with number 1. And this is the first track from Sandoko. This is Solo stroke Madaraka.
Yeah.
Yes, which is like 2 songs in one. And it's like very lo-fi hip-hop, very chill. The album gets crazy later on, but this one starts very chill. Tell me what First Solo is about. I mean, okay, there's this line I like, first of all. This one, dereva Peter Chwom, kuchelewa ni gharama.
Yeah.
That line really stood out to me. But yeah, what's Solo about?
Solo it's me just being alone, and it's this idea of, I'm trying to capture that moment when those moments in my life where I'm alone, and one of those moments is when I'm headed to my hustle in the morning, and it's something, all artists, all guys go through this, umepanda mat, you're headed to a job and you're kind of late.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, acha nipande nganya, itanipeleka haraka. Like, acha please dere
harakisha, bro. Tumia chwom.
Niko na session, like, dere pita chwom.
Yeah.
Ukichelewa, probably it's a paid session.
Yeah.
If you get late, you're gonna lose your time. If you don't make it to your job on time, you're not probably going to get some benefits and all that. Maybe you won't accomplish your day's tasks. So it's just that feeling of like, wow, I'm alone and I'm just thinking about time. There's not enough time. So there's that feeling a lot. But then there's also kind of an acceptance of I am myself, I am just me. And I am who I am without needing other people, apart from maybe like my family. That's why in there's a line that also says, thank God for my farm, niliwacha kufeel solo.
Because you say Madaraka Deni Hawks, Mau Mau wamerudi.
Acha tumeeshe locks.
Yes. By the locks ziko wapi bro? Ama ziko in incubation under the beanie.
Wanasemanga you don't have it dread to be Rasta.
It's a true thing. Hata mimi ni Rasta lakini yes I.
Ni Rasta in my heart.
You don't have it dread to be Rasta. But yeah, why do you say Madaraka Deni Hawks?
So it's kind of the journey continues, you're alone in the car, kwa matatu, and you're just going into the concrete jungle. And you're looking around at the structures that are there. As an artist, what structures do we really have? We're told, there's MCSK, there's these bodies. We know of legendary Kenyan producers who are part of the highest boards. Not just, like you have a vote, but you're part of the board.
Yeah.
We're still being stolen from. We're told kuna barabara mpya, we're told, but there's a whole new road, but the sidewalk isn't fixed. The people who live on that road, they're still suffering from poor roads, poor drainage. But it's a new road. We're told, now you're governing yourselves, now bringing it back to Madaraka Day. That's why I even dropped it on 1st June. Because now you're told, the government is run by Kenyans. The president is a Kenyan. But there's still things that they consult Britain for.
Yes.
Do we have a military base in Britain? We don't. But those guys have multiple bases in Kenya. US has multiple bases in Kenya. So if something were to go wrong, like we don't really have that kind of like freedom that we're told.
I definitely feel you. And on that actually same day, 1st June, there was this event that happened called First Patriots. And it was basically a paintballing experience and also an audio film that was being, like we were listening to an audio film. And it was actually recreating the Mau Mau struggle and the freedom fight, like when they were in the forest. So there's a team called Sounds of Freedom that created a whole audio film series, recreating how, our grandfathers and great-grandfathers and great-grandmothers were in the forest planning how to overthrow, the colonial government. And then after listening to that, we did a whole paintballing experience where it was Mau Mau versus Home Guards.
Oh.
Yeah. It was really fun, very adrenaline filled. But at the end of the day, we had 2 games, and in both games, the Home Guards won. And I saw that as so symbolic, like we think that we have internal self-rule, and because that's what Madaraka Day is about, but vitu kwa ground ni different.
There's this photo that, it wasn't trending really, but it was, a few of my friends really shared this to me. And it was a photo of the top startups based in Nairobi and their CEOs. So it had photos of their CEOs. And, like 70% were not Kenyan.
Wow.
They were just like Caucasian people or Indian people. So, even at a business level, we're not really free. We don't have that financial freedom, structural freedom. Yeah, that's kind of what that part of the song is about.
And I really appreciate you speaking about that, because I feel like right now as young Kenyans, we have, that is a conversation that's going on in our heads, and even if we're not talking about it, we feel that tumenyang'anywa ama we are not really free, even though we've been put in this box, this sanduku that's making us feel like, oh, all things are good. So I really appreciate that you brought that conversation out. I mean, we are talking about it here because you sang about it. And I think it's something, tafakari, please, tafakari hayo. Okay, so let's go to number 2. My second favorite song from Sandoko. And this is a song that you've talked about before, Rafiki Adui, featuring Mwongeli. And why I love this song, first of all, I love the production. Like, from how it starts with, it's like a dial, someone is calling, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like a voice message was left. So I saw that ulianza na ulimaliza vizuri, and I also like the chakacha beats, like you have to listen. You have to really listen.
Yeah.
Or you have to know what chakacha sounds like, which is a Kenyan sound, by the way, if you don't know. One of the many.
Teach them.
Each one teach one. Please, chakacha is a Kenyan sound from the coast.
Yeah.
And you will hear it in Rafiki Adui. Even Mwongeli puts like that coastal flavor, kachiri.
Yeah, that's actually like a children's song.
No way.
Yeah, it was a popular children's song back in the day. Yeah. So the reason actually she chose that was because it kind of symbolizes friendship. That childhood friendship.
Yeah.
Brings that feeling of like, you're just kids in the hood, just singing and just, becoming, just being friends without so many complications that come with that adulthood.
I see. And if you know what kachiri is, please comment. Let us know if you know. We know, but we want to know if you know.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
We know. We know. CJ, you know. The producer also knows, guys. So, the song, Rafiki Adui, French, a friend, an enemy. Yeah. And you are saying, it's about betrayal, fake friends. And even during the song, you're talking about how someone is acting like your friend, but are they really your friend? Was that inspired by maybe a relationship that went sour? Or, what was that about?
I think it was, definitely. So many friendships go sour,
Sour ile ya down, sour. Unajua sour means two things.
Swahili.
Yeah.
So definitely that, I went through a time in my life where most of my friends, I was kind of confusing people who want to work with me and people who are, some people who want to work with you, especially like in the creative industry in Nairobi.
Yeah.
They come to you and they disguise themselves as friends. And since they've been there before, they kind of know exactly what you're looking for, what your dreams are, and that's what they position for you, like as a carrot. So they position that and then like a friendship, but really they just want to use maybe the resources you have and all that. So I faced that a lot, maybe because, I had, some level of, I had like some resources, at the time, and I was also looking to network. So I found myself really in so many situations where I couldn't trust people. I just couldn't trust people. People were, I felt kind of used.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, I was also kind of trying to play the game because we all have a similar goal at the end of the day. So it's a song about lack of trust on my side, but it's also kind of like hypocritical because we all have to play that game somehow, you know. And okay, should I say this? But
say it. Speak
like,
your truth.
Sometimes I'm also the person calling, like pretending, you know. So it's not just, and I called all my friends by the before I dropped the song. I called all my perceived real friends and I told them, this song is not about you.
Okay. The real ones now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones who you can't really know. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of about that element of mistrust in the industry.
Okay.
You know, like I was telling him earlier that a lot of the structures we have for music in Nairobi like are based around social interactions. So that friendship element is like really critical, whereby like people only their friends. People only support their friends. So you kind of have to befriend someone in a way for you to kind of get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was trying to capture in that song. Just that feeling of like misusing friendship and misusing relationships like for someone's advantage.
Wow. Hey, moto, niko moto. Oh, wow. Okay.
It's something that I don't advocate for.
Yeah,
and nowadays
yeah.
I'm more conscious of it. Like I've matured.
Yeah.
Whereby now I can tell, like from the beginning, this person is just trying to manipulate me or abuse me. Yeah.
Wow, that's deep. Aki, you're just blowing my mind. And it's only the second song. Luka, come slowly. But yeah, I think it's such a beautiful song, and as you're saying, it has a very deep message. I also really enjoyed the video. It was directed by 1998 to the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I call him 98.
98.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the year he was born.
I don't know.
Please tell us 98 if that's the year you were born. But I love that video. It's so simple. You're in a basketball court, you're somewhere in museum, you're in the forest. Like, it's so simple, but how he shot it. And even, you know how, I don't know what video guys call this, but you know how you match the beat with the scene. It's like, or a bar, like for, you know, there's this bar and then there's one scene. And then when the beat changes or like the scene changes. So I really liked that. So shout out and big up to 98. Go watch that video. It's fire. And as you've heard, the message is deep. And it was produced by you, right?
Yeah, I made the beat.
Awesome.
I sampled the Kilimanjaro band.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a Tanzanian band?
Yeah, yeah, it's a Tanzanian band. I'll send you the link.
Please.
If you want to check it out.
Yeah.
The link in the description.
In the description. Awesome. And I mean, I just want to mention a song. Okay, it's not on my top 5, but I mean, you and Mwongeli make music, among other things. If you know, you know. Shout out to Mwongeli, by the way. She's such a lovely human being. And there's this song. I mean, you've collaborated with her on this EP. Sorry, is it EP album? Ama ni zote, ama we don't care.
It was meant to be an EP,
okay,
but I don't think it's short enough to be an EP.
Okay.
Like it's a bit longer.
It's a bit long. So this album. So another song on this album was Yin Yan, which you say is a letter to your unborn daughter. And I mean, you're just like preparing her for the world and saying you can't wait to meet her and show her all these beautiful things. So I'm just curious, now that she's here, like, what's that experience for you? Is it what you expected? Or is it different? Yeah. Because I don't think not many guys talk about fatherhood. Like I hear mothers every time talking about, oh my, but yeah, from a guy's perspective, how has that been for you?
It's been very fulfilling. Very, very amazing experience. Something that just makes you feel like you've accomplished a lot. Like it fills me with a lot of pride. Just seeing my daughter doing the simplest things, like feeding herself.
Oh, yeah.
You know, climbing up the stairs.
Yeah.
You know, it's very fulfilling. That's like the one word I would use to describe that. There's very few bad, like, negative sides to it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the parts I don't like are very petty. They're just things that if I say here, people will look at me like diapers. Like I really hate,
changing.
I really hate changing diapers.
It's allowed. It's allowed. Yeah, you see a lot of shit.
Yeah. So that's like the one thing.
Yeah.
I don't like. There's an element of anxiety that comes with it. Providing for her.
That's yeah.
Ikifika story ya school fees, you know, that brings some anxiety. But generally, like, apart from those few things, it's something that, you know, it fills me with a lot of love, a lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like I have something that I take, you know, it's my responsibility, you know, and when I see her happy, I see her laughing and smiling, then I feel like, what more do I need in life?
Yeah.
It even makes things like friendships, you know, seem, or, you know, those betrayals that I was talking about in Rafiki Adui, makes things like those feel very minute. Yeah, because I wrote Rafiki Adui before I got, and this was like a few weeks before now I knew that I was going to be a dad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So even getting a child and becoming a father, it just puts things into perspective. And that's why that feeling of Rafiki Adui, like, it's not as much as...
No. Yeah.
Because now I value different things.
Yeah.
Now that I've gotten a child, you know, I see things in a more long-term view. Yeah, so it's easier for me to maneuver the world because I feel more grounded.
Wow. Sawa, mmesikia. If you want to be fulfilled, have children or not.
She said it, not me. She said it.
But then, you know, for the longest time, and I even have I wouldn't call it a meme, more of like a post I designed, where I said, this was like maybe 10 years ago, I said, don't have kids. Of course, maybe I was talking to the kids.
Yeah.
But things have changed. We are no longer kids.
Yeah.
So, if you can have...
But if you can have.
Yeah.
You're going to be so happy.
Yeah.
But for me, my don't just have a kid if you know you're going to just struggle. And as in, analyze your situation.
Yeah.
Before you decide to have a child.
Exactly.
If you can't, like, cater for them and maybe, you know, analyze your relationship with your spouse, analyze your financial situation, look at those things. Your trauma levels.
Muhimu sana your trauma.
Before you have a kid.
So true. Lazima, whether you have to balance, like, can you really handle all those things? But I
would recommend.
Awesome. Okay, so let's move on
Sure.
to number 3 in this top 5 rundown. And number 3 is also quite conscious. This song is Chains.
Yeah. Oof.
As in, we have not even gone deep, guys. Tumekuwa shallow end. Now we are going to the deep end. And okay, so this song for me, also produced by you. There's this line: umeomoka for real, ama umechange cages. So, like, for me, how I was experiencing this song is like, you know, you've moved on, things are going well for you, but are you really free, or are you still bound by, like, you say, wacha ni heal na hizi chains, hizi hips, ganji, drip. So it's like, pia kuomoka, pia getting the success, you're still chained by the women and the drugs and the fashion and the drip. What was the mindset for you while you were writing that song?
This is one of those songs it took me a while to finish it. And it was influenced a lot by my financial status.
Okay.
When I was starting to write it, I think, as a man, you just, do inaenda ikikam in Nairobi, So at some point, nilikuwa sina do, like at all.
Yeah.
Then it's like, at some point when I was writing it, niko na do mob, and then by the time I'm finishing it, maybe imepotea tena. So you realize that when there's no money, you're kind of in a cage. You can't really move around.
True.
And then even some people won't like associate with you that much because maybe you can't be where they are, or you can't pay for their drinks and all that.
Yeah. Usikuwe triggered kama ni wewe.
So, as in, nikiwa nayo ni how does that line go? So basically, like when you don't have money,
yeah,
you're kind of trapped. You're in a cage.
Yes.
But then when you have the money, now it's like if you're not careful, the things that you buy with that money, now those become your cage. Like maybe if you're not driving, you kind of feel like you're a lesser person, or you buy chains, and those make you feel good about yourself, like literal chains.
Yeah.
So you're like, man, okay, nimekuwa so broke, acha sasa ni splurge tu ido, ni buy tu gari, ama ni spendi do kwa madem.
Yeah.
And then that now becomes like
your chain.
Your other
cage.
Your other chain. And then you find a lot of people, they can even like quit music and go into doing like a corporate job.
Yes.
Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing, by the way. But then, like, have you really now made it? Really? And also just like tying it, because I wrote it also in a similar period with Rafiki Adui. It's also like, sasa tumeacha kuongea with the people who I perceive to be friends. Now it's like you've gone to a different cage. But like, really, have you really made it? So it's just that tying into even Madarakadi.
Yeah.
You've gone from this stage to the other stage in your journey of what you perceive as success.
Yeah.
But like, have you really made it? So it's kind of pointing you back to the things that actually matter. Yeah, like for me, it's just making music, interacting with people. It's not necessarily like the money.
Yeah.
And,
wow. Because there are
so
still chains.
What you described it is exactly what it is.
Okay. Pia mimi najua kuchambanua. Ni kuchambanua ama ni kuchanganua ama ni zote. Yeah, but
Nipata tashwishi.
Ya msamiati. Itabidi nirudi shule ya Kiswahili. But I like how this song ends, Chains, where you say, the chorus you were talking about, wacha ni heal na hizi chains, hizi hips, hizi ganji, hizi drip. But in the last chorus you say, wacha ni heal na muziki, ni heal na Mary Jane. So ni kama your medicine now has changed. Like what matters has changed. It's no longer the outside world. It's like music, which for me, I'm such a believer that music is a healer. Music si tu ya dunda na grinding and enjoyment. It is, but music is
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
It's way bigger. Yeah. So tumesikia message. Okay, now let's go to number 4. Now we are going to pick up the pace Kidogo, because as I was listening to Sandoko, it started off very reflective, very lo-fi, chill. Of course, you're talking about very heavy subjects at the same time. But then ikienda uko mbele, I started hearing like it's becoming hardcore. And this is a part of you, by the way, I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
So, for example, Chini, where you feature Muddah, it's very like trap, and it slaps, like it's hard, man. And you guys are talking about like it's like a stick up, do you remember the hook?
Yeah, it's a stick up. Tumewashika, tumetokea bila kuwalikwa, heshimu rika, unajifanya hujatishika, jaribu kuwika, tutakugeuza malaika, ni mboka kupiga, toa kila kitu bila kuficha, weka chini, na hizo mikono
juu
kila kitu chini, na hizo mikono juu.
Yes. Hey, like you guys mmekuja ku sweep it all.
I have the unreleased video for that song. Yeah. Like, should we record your reaction to it? Yes. You can put this part in. You have my copyright. You saw that tweet. I'll play it to you, then we'll record your reaction.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I really like that song. So is it really a stick up? Are you guys really coming to steal some things? Like, should we hide our people and everyone? Like, what are you and Muddah up to, man?
That song, I placed it there in the album because it was now me being done with reflecting.
Okay.
And being done with, as I told you now, it was a metamorphosis of me coming out.
Yeah.
And just being comfortable with myself. So I was kind of done with feeling kind of caged, feeling helpless, feeling in a box. And now I'm just coming out, and I'm just realizing that, oh man, I can actually, make music. I can actually just be myself. So this was just like an interlude in the album, or rather a transition in the album that kind of just leads now to the future of the music that I'm gonna make, which is gonna be like more energy filled in the near future. I know I'm gonna make more reflective tracks. Yeah. Maybe when I go through more stuff in my life.
Character development.
But for now, I'm happy. Okay. Like, I've healed a lot.
Okay.
So and it was more of like, now I'm coming to take over your stages.
Yeah.
Even if you see the video, it's a robbery, but we're actually robbing like a studio.
All right.
It was really fun shooting it.
Yeah.
So it's more like it's a show. It's actually a concert. That's why I'm like, kila kitu chini na hizo mikono juu. So it's a double entendre of like a robbery, but I'm actually just on stage.
All right.
Yeah, I made it specifically to perform on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole vibe behind the song.
Got it.
So it's definitely like a robbery.
Yeah.
But on the other side, it also just means I'm coming to steal the show.
All right. Yeah. He's coming to steal the show, guys. Okay. Things are safe.
It's so funny. Like, when I was writing this song in my home studio, and I was recording a demo of it, then we had a really loud bang. And I was really playing it like loud. And it has the 808s. Skizeni kitu kwa speakers na offers.
Yes.
Listen to the 808s. Yeah. Then I'm in the zone there. I just hear a bang, boop. I just knew, damn, today's the day. And it was at night. But so I opened the door. It was just like, so nini ya mtungi ya maji ilikuwa imeanguka chini. Yeah.
unashtua watu wanakushtua.
But go listen to the song on good speakers.
Yeah, please do. It's such a dope song produced by Purple G Beats. Yeah, I think he did a really right.
Yeah.
He did a really dope job. And even with Muddah, you've done a lot of stuff together. You produced Nairobi Youth 2. Mmetoana wapi?
Muddah tulimit through Roxil. Roxil shot a few videos that I've been involved in.
Okay.
Roxil reached out online on Reverb Nation when we were still in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's a really long time ago. And Roxil ni mtu wa Kangemi. So now through Roxil I met all those Kangemi artists. And the one who stood out for me was Muddah.
Okay.
And at the time I was trying to find artists to produce for. So I just reached out to Muddah. I told him, I like your flow. Come through, I have a space. Let's work on a few songs. And that became his first album.
Wow. So when did you reach out?
Yeah, and I mainly reached out for Muddah. And then after that album, we kind of went our separate ways a bit. And then now when we were separate, that's when now I also found myself. Yes. Then in me finding myself, we reconnected.
Yeah.
Then, I called him for this track. We have 2 tracks with him on my album.
True.
And we're also working on so many other projects.
Nice. Yeah. Now that you're out there, now you can even do more stuff together.
Yeah, so
that's dope. And that fact that you helped him with his album and now he's helping you with your album. Guys, life is a cycle.
Yeah, he also helps a lot with the visuals.
Awesome. Okay. So that is Chini. And now to the final song of the top 5 by Luka. It's another collaboration. I don't know whether you want to guess.
It's Time Bado.
Yes. Ni Muddah wa Time Bado. If you saw what I did there. Time Bado. Now this one features Tony Oriema.
Yeah.
And even before we talk about Time Bado, I just want to big you up for the song you guys did before. That's Tony Oriema for President.
Yeah.
That's how I actually knew about him. And I really loved your verse on it. Wow,
Thank you.
Oh, is it Kimathi Ouko?
Yes, Pendo. Taja jina zao kama weni mzalendo.
And then that part where, Tony asked in his verse, irony kwa Kiswahili ni nini? And then you're like...
irony kwa Kiswahili ni kinaya.
I loved how you responded to that on your own verse.
Wapi kamusi, translation ya irony.
And then that was dope. But go check Tony Oriema for President. It's a very conscious song. I really enjoyed it. The video, message, for me. Message muhimu. But let's go back now to Time Bado. Again, I love the production in this song. It has drill. It has that church. Is it like a church choir vibe?
Yeah.
Like this song, this summer piano song, you want to chill with the
big boys.
Yeah. So it has that vibe. If you're trying, that choir sound. It's now in Time Bado. And it's just a very... Time Bado. It's
hype. It's energy.
Yeah. What was that between you and him? Hiyo ngoma ili come up aje?
So hii song iko na siasa mob. Song.
We are ready. Spill the tea.
But ilianza na Tony.
Okay.
Tony ndo alimake you beat. Very fire, the first time I heard that beat.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just hear a song and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm gonna say on this song.
Okay.
Everything comes to you in that first 5 seconds.
Yes.
Now it's just you to write it.
Yeah.
Take it from your head, put it into the mic. That's one of the songs. And with Tony's beats, that's how it usually happens. He comes through, probably we're going to record some old song, but then he has like some beats he's been making, plays a beat, like, whoa, that one.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I want to say on this. And with this one, he had the hook. And he even had a verse.
Okay.
And it was meant to be a posse track. It didn't really have a direction.
Okay.
It was meant to be a posse track. We had some other people on it. But then, like with artists, sometimes inafikanga point, you're like, wow, siko sure na hii verse. Siko sure na hii. But then me, I was sure. Me, I was like, what? Me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, bro, okay, whoever is not sure, we'll just do it. We'll just do a remix then. Yeah. So, time Bado remix coming soon. Yeah.
So, does that mean like the original at first had way more artists than...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but kuna watu hawakuwa sure.
Yeah.
I see.
Hawakuwa sure. So, had to make a decision there. And so, I recorded it at my house, my home studio. Nearly record verse 1. Then I recorded verse 2 at a studio in Kasarani. Is it Kasarani? Yeah, Kasarani.
Okay.
But then, on that day when I recorded it, I had Msafiri come along.
Yes, who played the guitar.
Yeah,
at the end of the
when
song.
I recorded verse 2, he played the guitar on it. And that just completed the song. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That was like, the guitar just gave the song, like, it elevated it.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Then that producer who I recorded verse 2 and Safiri's guitar at, aligo missing. Yeah. Wow. So we had to re-record it now at Real Time Music in Kangemi.
Okay.
Shout out to Jay, hata kama apendi kutajwa.
We appreciate. Yes.
So I recorded it at Jay, where I recorded most of the songs in Sandoko.
All right.
And yeah, that was it. Recorded verse 1, 2, everything. Even Tony redid his hook.
Okay.
Actually, he changed it.
Okay.
So the hook you hear now, it's not the original hook that we recorded the first time.
All right.
Then that was it. And the song is generally about just anger and frustration. Yeah, just that feeling of wanting to release, energy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
And it's also a song made for performing. Yeah, like you'll realize from the next few releases, I'm mostly focusing on songs that are good for performing. And I was even describing to him my music.
Yeah.
My music palette at this point in time, because I know it's going to change in the next few years.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just trying to make energy-filled music that's popping, fusing it with traditional elements, but also an urban kind of feel. But I'm really feeling energetic, and I'm really feeling hyped up.
All right.
So that's the kind of music that you should expect from me, like going forward. Just expect to dance, expect to move, expect to bop your head and to sing along.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah. So I guess the album leaves us on that high note of what to expect next from Luka. I love that. And I love that you definitely included the guitar, because we were having a conversation before this recording about Benga and how Benga is, we think Benga is just like a rural sound, like, it's in central Kenya or Nyanza or in, Eastern, and it's what watu wa mashinani listen to. But Benga is everywhere. It's that guitar you hear in Sauti Sol. It's that guitar you hear in gospel songs. It's that guitar you hear in your songs. So if you want to hear what Benga sounds, guys, just listen to a Kenyan song that you really love. If you hear a guitar that just sounds nice, it's probably Benga.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So we are done with the top 5. Just before we wrap up, I always like to ask my guests, what is your favorite Kenyan song right now?
Right now, what? Can you say a few?
Yeah.
Hey, there's this song by Ukweli and Kasha. It's called Silaha. Hey, I listen to that song every day.
Hey, obsessed.
Wow. Kasha. Hey, we should do a song.
Kasha is Ka?
Sha.
Okay, Kasha. Female?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Lukweli, the producer.
Yeah. Wave.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, she a song, Joe. Where?
Eh?
Whatever you guys were on, you make your song.
And
I hope our sounds will match. But we'll match that hardcore vibe and that Swahili vibe.
Tell me about your other favorite song.
Yeah, my other favorite song, I just told you about Silaha. There's this song by Lisa Odur Noah called Jadala. From one of her projects. I don't know if it's her only project or if it's her latest, but yeah, Jadala, it's beautiful melody. Her vocals.
Always on point.
Yeah, crisp. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Jadala means someone from home?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a love song. Yeah, a Luo love song.
Yeah, I love, but I just love how Lisa keeps it grounded, keeps it home. You know, she can sing R&B like Beyonce or whoever you want to say, but she still sings in her language and you're like, yeah, this is grounded.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, you and me both.
Okay.
Now, so my favorite song right now, niko na mbili pia. So number 1 is Sio Siri by Watendawili.
Yeah.
That song finishes me.
Yeah.
What? Do you know a song that you can listen to every single day?
Yeah.
Like I think if there were statistics, my account would be the one which has watched that song the most. I love that song.
Yeah, those guys are on to a great future.
Oh, they are. Their transition and their metamorphosis, since you brought that word up, has just done a lot of good things for them. And they're so authentic.
Yeah.
Their songwriting is amazing. Like that whole song is in Swahili. And it's just so beautiful and heartfelt.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. And then my second song is also a Swahili song. It's called Mina Wewe by Jumadi.
Oh, okay.
It's a love song. It's funny because, this is also a love song. Also, she sings it in the most crisp Swahili you've ever heard. She says she wrote it while she was in Zanzibar. So, Kiswahili kitamu nakwambia.
I think it's from her upcoming album.
It is from her upcoming album. So, and the video is also so beautiful, shot in Diani. So, yeah, those are my 2 favorite songs. Kenyan songs right now. Yeah. Play KE, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we've talked a lot. This has been such a rich conversation, so deep. I was not expecting it, but I just love that you're finally expressing yourself. You have all these stories behind your music. You're diverse. I mean, you've played with so many sounds. You know, you've done trap. There's drill. There's chakacha, there's gengeton, there's hip hop. Like, I just love to see how diverse you are and how, just deep. Yeah. And I'm just looking forward to hearing your new releases and seeing who else you work with, seeing the direction you take with your music. And I'll always be a fan because your bars are always like your bars.
Thank you.
Always. Always. I remember from the first song I had, I was like, yo, this guy can write. Yeah. And the fact that, you're mixing up Sheng, Swa, you're not just doing the English way, but languages that as Kenyans we can relate to and things that we can relate to. Yeah. Yeah. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah. And please come back when we blow up. because you'll also have blown up.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
and please go listen to, not please, but go listen to Sandoko album by Luka. It is such an amazing album, as you've heard. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere. You can buy it on Hustle Sasa.
Exactly.
Also, yeah.
I say if you like
Support.
it, buy it. Skiza and you're like, yeah, I like this stuff. Go buy it. You'll always have it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to always go to Spotify or where to go listen to it. You have it in your phone, in your car, in your laptop. You can make a playlist if you want. So yeah, go support Luka. Just one final question. Why Machoya Luka?
Oh.
Because that's your handle on like IG, right?
Yeah. So when I was in the early days of TKR.
Oh yeah, look guys, we are going back to the beginning.
So in those early days, like I got a camera. Just, for podcasting, shooting interviews, recording performances. So I kind of felt like I'm learning so much about photography and videography. So I felt like a photographer. So that's kind of why, I used to take photos of my friends. So it was like Machoya Luka, like based on the camera.
All right.
Yeah. So that was a phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was follow me on IG at Luka Radio.
Yeah.
That's my new IG handle.
Oh yeah, it's changed. Okay.
It changed.
So
everywhere it's Luka Radio now. Yeah.
So yeah, new stage.
Yeah.
Sasa uko stage ya radio na play your music on the radio. Ama is it to do with Radio Mapinduzi?
It's just like, it's my channel, It's like Luka's radio station or something. As in, there's not much to it.
Yeah.
But for my new handle, it's just a handle.
Okay. Handle it, guys. Handle it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we should
there's
go.
No deep story behind
There's
my
no deep story.
IG handle.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, got you. So yeah, Luka Radio. I am LaMusicJunkie on Twitter and Instagram and on the streets. And shout out to Tawala Studios for having us and just giving us this space. Amazing sound quality, the video, if you're watching this. And we'll see you and listen to you and hear you next time. If you love Kenyan music like I do, like Luka does, then go get my free top 100 Kenyan music playlist. This is a compilation of 100 Kenyan songs that are just amazing. That like, if you're always like, man, I need to know what Kenyan music sounds like. I'm tired of all this 5 songs that are repeated on radio and on TV. Like, if you want to hear the real stuff, guys, I compiled songs all the way from the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and different genres. You'll hear Issa, you'll hear Sero, you'll hear like just the diversity of Kenyan music. So yeah, go check that out. It's in the show notes. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you.